We're two hitchhikers. We met while hiking Mount Baldy with mutual friends, wasted no time, got engaged on a frozen alpine lake, got hitched, and have been adventuring together since. We're embarking on a new adventure of living big in a tiny home. Let's see how this goes.
Adventure awaits.
Well, good morning. It is Saturday morning and it is, let's see if I can do this, a little bit of a gloomy day. We're at about 40 degrees right now, so it's not terribly cold, just a little chilly, but the humidity is quite high, so I think it feels colder than it actually is. So we were hoping that this weekend we would have access to either the backhoe or a skid steer, but nothing is available this weekend. So we have to make do with other projects that we have to get done. We were just hoping to move some earth and get all of those things flattened out and dug up that we needed to. That way we could move forward with the bigger projects, but we're still not able to do so. So we have other things to do. First line of business, I am checking everything here in our raised garden beds and on our seedlings that are in the shed right now. So the windstorms we've had lately have been very, very strong, and they've been doing a number on what we have planted outside. So we mainly have onions and garlic planted out here. I've got a couple other things, but the wind has just been breaking a lot of these tops off. They're still doing well, but they're having a difficult time, but I think they are going to rise to the occasion. But what I did earlier this week is I planted some carrots. Now, carrots generally like a bit of a warmer climate and some warmer soil, but these ones take a while to germinate and they don't do well as transplants. So I made some makeshift little greenhouses with some saran wrap and just pieces of scrap wood that we have just to keep them contained in here. And hopefully they germinate, because once they germinate and start to grow that taproot, they should be a-okay. And then I can go ahead and put on some plastic panels here on top, and hopefully we don't get wind in the next couple of weeks, because that will help these to probably solidify. But it's a trial run. We'll see how that goes. And in here is our little seedling setup, as you can see. Everything seems to be doing well. The lavender is taking quite a long time to germinate. I think I might have about 20 seedlings at this point. So considering we're still feeling like winter here in the shed, we're probably averaging about 60 degrees, but then with the seed mats, they're hopefully staying at about 65, maybe 70. It's slow going, but I'm glad I started early. But the onions and lettuce and celery all seem to be doing very, very well. Next up in line, I think, is the cauliflower and broccoli. That is what has to be planted this week.
So I'm knocking out the honey-do list, and we were supposed to get a couple of equipment this weekend, but we didn't. So now I'm actually building a little handrail and a shade system for our garden bed, because we don't want them to get sun scalded. And yeah, and then once I get this done, more things to knock out, like these steps. These are gonna get finished in, and yada yada, yada, and all this other stuff. Too short. So there is a broken screw inside this board, and I do not want to ruin another blade on my planer. So if you have the ability to basically chisel out a piece of wood right here, and then what you do is you get your chuck to go over the screw, and you just tighten it on as quick, as hard as you can, and boo.
In theory, it works.
In theory, it works. It should work. Okay. And there you go. Ta-da! If we're gonna build the box, we could build it out of this, the cants. That way it's just put together.
And as you saw the little seedlings just a little bit ago, we have some artichoke that are starting to sprout and they're looking healthy. So they are gonna go right here in this section. So we need to build a little box for those as well. And we're gonna be using these cants, which are the end pieces of the logs, to build it up and give it some structure. Now that the mini raised bed frame for the future artichoke is complete, it's time to move on to the finishing touches to the raised garden bed that we worked on last week. Because it's also being used as a retaining wall, the slope to get to the ground level is a bit steep, even with the existing stone steps. So Ruben wants to put in some handrails for added safety. Of course, we try to utilize as much material as we have on hand, but these 4x4s are looking pretty weathered. So Ruben gets to implement his new favorite pastime, Sho Sugiban. This will help to weatherproof the lumber for a longer lifespan of the material.
Yeah, you want to keep it 6 inches away from the... Yeah.
This is fun. Got anything else for me to burn? So should I be concerned with seeing the raw wood underneath the char?
No.
Okay.
Basically just burn it. Burn it like it owes you money. That is the char that we needed. Hit me.
Wow. It soaks it up so much more than when the wood is raw.
It's like you burned every bit of resin and sap I had left. Give me that linseed oil.
So that other post obviously is the Sho Sugiban, but then the rail is going to be naked with linseed oil.
Yeah, we're just gonna make it nice and pretty. It's gonna...
I like it.
Yep.
Our fort is actually kind of pretty.
Yeah, our fort is pretty cool. Okay. Danny. I think that's the most this wheelbarrow could handle, actually.
I think so too. The tire's holding up. I'm impressed. That would have been 4 loads for me.
Okay. And we'll put another rock right here.
replace it, but I don't know. You want more gravel?
Tight. Oh, that's what bowed up.
So we drove up here to Oregon because we are picking up some windows that Ruben found on Craigslist, I think. They have daffodils. We found out that this glass was initially intended for a round mountain cabin, but plans changed for that build. We seriously considered a round house ourselves because they do extremely well with high wind, but permitting is a nightmare for those, especially in this fine state. Go a little bit more.
Got it?
Okay, it's right there.
All right.
After some gentle loading onto our roof rack, we were on our way with 4 3x6 tempered glass window panes.
Never hurts to ask.
We're still doing okay. Ruben is doing a quick check before we hop back on the interstate. We stopped for lunch here at this brewery. Hopefully we make it over the pass.
Is if you fold the cardboard up. So if you can. All right. Hopefully that works. Something. Yeah. See if I can hook it in.
It was a slow drive back with quite a few stops to make sure all was okay. Getting over the pass was probably the most stressful part.
Hold it up. Oh. All right. So far, everybody's there. It's probably just a wood, like, poop.
And we made it back safe and sound. All right.
Alright.
The apocalypse.
Yeah.
A big unveiling.
Yeah, she stayed together.
All right.
Hey. It's all there.
Okay. Phew, 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 phew.
Pretty good. I like it.
Salute. Cheers. You have charcoal right there.
No, but
No,
on the other side?
no. It's like the fingerprints on the handle. There we go.
Thank you for not licking your finger before you did that.
Well, family, that wraps up this week's update. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.